most of the frame is welded together, and there's a few pieces where I still have to round over the sharp edges so that they'll be nice and smooth like this is. For instance, this is going to be the foot peg, and I wouldn't want to be catching my ankle on something sharp like this, for instance. So take the grinder, grind everything over. By the way, if you've never used a flat grinder, wow, is it effective. This is the first one. It's probably 75% worn down now. But I used it when I did all of the chair last fall, and I've done quite a bit of grinding on the shop stool, and there's still quite a bit left. And this disc was about $10. Well worth it. Works way better than a stone. Just thought I'd throw that in. Now another thing I'd like to mention, just in case you're wondering, wherever a piece like this was welded onto another piece, I welded all the way around. All the way around. When I bought this, I also bought two. So this is a brand new one. And what happens here is that when the abrasive wears down, it exposes the backing, and the backing wears down, which in turn exposes new abrasive. So as it works its way down through the wheel, it's always got real sharp cutting abrasive touching your steel. I can imagine how fast this would go through wood. So I'm going to try and demonstrate here for you. And being as that this is noisy, now you're going to hear what sounds like an exhaust fan running in the background. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's actually an old furnace fan that I've rigged up in the basement window there. And I've got another basement window open, so I'm sucking fresh air in one and blowing the stale air out the other. Works really well. I know there's people thinking, you can't weld in a basement, think of the fumes. Well, there ain't no fumes, my friend. Now we'll just do it all again. Now there's something I'm going to do that's a little bit different from when I did the chair last fall. You remember I fastened the casters with those screws, and it worked pretty good. But I'm going to try just tack welding the caster on to the bottom of the foot here. I think it'll be just as strong, if not stronger, than the screw, and it's going to be a lot faster. And besides, I just want to see if it'll work. The reason I used the screws on the chair is because I thought, what if I want to take the casters off someday? Well, I'm realizing now I'm never going to want to take the casters off. They're not that expensive. So right now, it's adjusted about as high, in fact it's as high as it can get. Add another 4 inches for the casters, and I think if I drew everything out right on my drawing, I would have to let myself down very little to have all of my weight on the seat, which of course isn't on right now, but it will be. And then I can still drop it down about 5 inches or so if I want to. At least that's the plan. And like I say, if I did my drawing right, it should work. Now, there's something that I noticed, and that is, in order to tighten this up, I've got to use 2 wrenches. So I was thinking, why don't I just spot weld the bolt on here and here and here and here. Then I only have to use one wrench on the other side. So I'm going to try that. I hope it's going to work out, because once it's welded on, I can't take it off. In other words, if I strip the threads on the bolt on the other side, I can't easily replace the bolt unless I was to grind it off. But if I'm careful, it should work out okay. Now I'm going to have to weld these guides, one here and one here, so that this can slide up and down. This is the seat post. Now of course I'm going to want to make sure I leave just a little bit of room in between here, like a 1/16 of an inch. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. And yeah, just so that it'll slide easily, because once I paint it, the paint is going to add a little bit of thickness to it. So I think I did something stupid like that once before. So I don't want to do it again. Anyway, I guess that's about the next step now, is just weld these things in place and yeah, then clean it up and paint it. Now this worked out a whole lot better than I thought it was going to. The reason I didn't do this when I did the chair is because I was afraid that the grease could start running and get hot and vaporize, and the arc would set the vapor on fire, and I'd have a little fire going on that I don't want. Anyway, the grease didn't even run. It didn't even liquefy. So yeah, didn't have to worry about it. And I used the wet rag thing, and I think that was suggested by one of the viewers 6 months ago when I was doing the chair. It worked out great. Thank you very much. Protected the wheel and the tire on the wheel. Anyway, it worked really, really good. Went really fast. So tomorrow, all being well, I'll clean this frame up and maybe start painting it green. What other color is there? And maybe I'll also start on that black palm pen blank that was given me. I think I'm going to do the cactus juice process. Maybe I'll do both. While the vacuum system is running on the blank, I can work on the chair. Kill two birds with one stone. But that's tomorrow. Thank you for watching.